The sit-up has always been a staple in my workout routine, a classic exercise that never goes out of style. But today, as I lay flat on the mat, knees bent, hands behind my head, I decided to approach it with a new mindset. Instead of rushing through the motions, I wanted to feel every inch of the movement, to engage each muscle fully. I took a deep breath and slowly began to lift my upper body off the ground. My abs tightened as I curled forward, the burn intensifying with each inch. It was a familiar pain, one that I had grown to associate with progress. As I reached the top of the sit-up, I paused, feeling the full contraction of my abdominal muscles before slowly lowering myself back down. The descent was just as important as the ascent, my core remaining engaged to control the movement. I repeated the process, each sit-up becoming a meditation on strength and resilience. The simplicity of the exercise belied its effectiveness, each rep a reminder that sometimes the most basic movements can have the most profound impact. By the end, my abs were exhausted, but I felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The sit-up, in all its simplicity, had once again proven to be an unbeatable exercise for building core strength. The exercise ball wobbled slightly as I sat on it, my core already engaging to keep me balanced. Sit-ups on the ground had become too easy, and I was looking for a new challenge, something to take my core workout to the next level. The exercise ball seemed like the perfect solution. I rolled back, positioning the ball under the small of my back, my feet planted firmly on the ground. Taking a deep breath, I began my first sit-up. The instability of the ball made even the simplest movement a test of strength and control. As I curled my upper body forward, I could feel my abs working overtime to maintain my balance, the muscles burning with effort. The sit-up on the exercise ball wasn't just about crunching up, it was about maintaining that delicate balance, preventing the ball from rolling out from under me. Each rep felt like a battle between control and chaos, my body constantly adjusting to stay centered. By the time I finished the set, my abs were on fire, but there was a sense of accomplishment too. The sit-up on the exercise ball had pushed my core to its limits, showing me that even a familiar exercise could become a whole new challenge with the right tools. The air was crisp as I stepped outside, the early morning sky still painted with the hues of dawn. I had decided to try something new today, an exercise called Sky Touches. It sounded simple enough, but I knew that simplicity often masked a deeper challenge. Standing tall, I reached my arms up to the sky, stretching as high as I could. The movement was smooth and graceful, almost meditative. I could feel the stretch travel through my entire body, from my fingertips down to my toes. As I inhaled deeply, I imagined myself reaching for the sky, each stretch lifting me higher and higher, as if I could touch the clouds. The stretch in my sides and back was subtle but powerful, awakening muscles that had been dormant. I continued the movement, reaching up and then gently lowering my arms, repeating the cycle. With each repetition, I felt more connected to my body, more in tune with the rhythm of my breath. The Sky Touches weren't just about flexibility, they were about reaching beyond my limits, both physically and mentally. By the time I finished, I felt refreshed, as if I had soaked in the energy of the morning sky, ready to take on whatever the day had in store. The workout had just begun, and already my muscles were screaming for mercy. I had heard of the spellcaster exercise before, how it was supposed to work magic on your core and shoulders, but I had no idea just how intense it would be. Standing with feet shoulder-width apart, I clasped my hands together, imagining I was holding an invisible staff, ready to cast a powerful spell. I swung my arms in a wide arc from side to side, engaging my core to control the movement. The first few swings felt easy enough, but as I continued, the burn in my obliques and shoulders became undeniable. It was as if each swing was conjuring up a new wave of fire that coursed through my body, testing my endurance. Sweat dripped down my face as I pushed through the repetitions, focusing on keeping my movements controlled and powerful. The spellcaster wasn't just a physical challenge, it was a mental one too, requiring focus and determination to push through the discomfort. By the end, my body felt like it had been through a battle, but there was also a sense of triumph. The spellcaster had cast its spell on me, leaving me stronger and more resilient than before. In a dimly lit room, the tension in my body was palpable. I had been feeling stiff and sluggish for days, my muscles protesting even the slightest movement. That's when I remembered the iron cross stretch, a movement I had only read about but never tried. I laid down on the mat, my body sprawling out like a starfish. With a deep breath, I extended my arms out to my sides, palms facing down, and slowly began to swing my left leg across my body, aiming to touch the ground on the right side. The stretch was intense, pulling at my hips and lower back, but in a way that felt like the release of long-held tension. As my leg hovered over the ground, I could feel the tightness unraveling, the muscles elongating, as if the stretch was ironing out the kinks in my body. I repeated the stretch on the other side, each time feeling a little looser, a little more aligned. The iron cross stretch wasn't just a physical movement. It was a ritual of resetting my body, reminding me of the importance of mobility and balance. Each stretch felt like a small victory over the stiffness that had been plaguing me, a reminder that sometimes the simplest movements can bring the greatest relief.